Hello, welcome to another edition of North Coast History and Haunts. Today's episode takes us to Upper Sandusky, Ohio. We're kind of in northwest Ohio in the middle of nowhere. And it was on this site that early American explorer pioneer William Crawford was brutally murdered by Seneca Indians. He was murdered in retaliation for another massacre that took place, and we're going to look at that in a little bit, but it was a case of mistaken identity. Crawford was never there at this other massacre, but yet he paid the price. A lot of it was due to the language barrier between the early explorers and the Native American Indians. And the Seneca Indians exacted their revenge on William Crawford. He was burned at the stake, and it was, by all accounts, it was a horrific death. They captured him, stripped him naked, tied him to a pole, and made a fire around the base where he was tied up. As the fire got closer, he began to physically burn. They shot at him, they took sharp sticks and poked all over his body, and finally he appealed to the only American left in the crowd, a guy by the name of Simon Girty. Simon Girty was a unique guy, and he kind of played both sides in the war. He was on the American side, then he was on the Native American side. And he traveled all over this part of the country. There's a lot of stories about him, and we'll talk about him in another video. But he was here, and Crawford appealed to him to save him. Talk to the Indians. Do anything you can to help him. But Simon Girty explained, I can't. I'll be murdered too. I'll do everything I can, but the chances are kind of slim here. Crawford knew this, and he begged Simon to put him out of his mercy, just to shoot him, to get his death over with quick. But it didn't happen. The Native Americans burned and tortured him all night. This area is supposed to be haunted by the ghost of William Crawford. You can hear him scream his anguished cries. If you come here with the right kind of ear, when the moon is just right and the winds are just coming from the right directions, you can hear his anguished cry. You can visit this site today. I'll put a link in the description below of where you can find it. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of fields around here. But it was on this location that William Crawford was brutally murdered. We hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more. Bye.